I have two individuals here. One individual set their goals and they achieved them, while the other individual set their goals and they did not achieve them. Which one's a winner? Which one is successful? Despite what you may think, it's not the one that achieved their goals, it's the one that didn't achieve their goals. Because your goals mean nothing if they're small. You see, person A set the goal to lose 5 pounds and they achieved it, while person B set the goal to get a 6-pack. And maybe they haven't achieved it yet, but guess what? They lost 15 pounds. They lost 20 pounds. Because when you set a goal, it's not about the goal you set. It's not about what you get. It's about who you have to become in the journey to achieve it. What standards do you have to have in order to achieve it? Anybody can lose 5 pounds, but how many people can set a goal of getting a 6-pack and achieve it? You should be more scared to set a small goal and achieve it than you should be to set a big goal and fail. You see, most people set goals they know they can achieve every single year, and because of that, they're setting a goal to remain average. They're setting a goal to remain the same. They're setting a goal to stay comfortable. If your goal is comfortable, if you know you can achieve your goal, it sounds like you need some bigger goals. It sounds like you need a bigger mindset. You gotta start thinking bigger. You gotta start thinking larger, because most people set their goals with what they see today. But the true winners in life set their goals for what they can see in 5 years from now. You see, when you get in your car, you can't see your destination from when you first get in your car. All you can see is a mile down the road, but you still set the goal to get to the destination. You didn't just set a goal, oh, I just gotta drive down the road. No, you have faith. You have belief that you can ultimately get to your destination even though you can't see it today. So why are you doing it with your goals? You only set a goal to lose 5 pounds? You only set a goal to get a little bit better? You only set a goal to provide a little bit more for your family? You only set a goal to make a little bit more money? No, set a goal as if you had unlimited potential. That's what this journey is all about. It's not about what you get. It's not about how much weight you lose. It's not about what shape you get in. It's about who you need to become to get there. You see, in order to lose 5 pounds, you could still party on the weekends. In order to lose 5 pounds, you can still keep your same bad habits. In order to lose 5 pounds, you can still stay distracted. But who do you need to become to get a 6-pack? Who do you need to become a millionaire? Who do you need to become the absolute greatest version of you? But you're too scared that you won't be successful. Stop fearing failure. You should not fear failure. You should not fear death. You should not fear falling on your face. What you should fear is achieving small goals and thinking that that's enough. Thinking that just because you get a little bit of success that you're good, you could chill. Listen, the true winners in life, when they get some success, they work harder. When they get the promotion, they work harder. When they get the relationship, they work harder. When they get the body, they work harder. It's the losers in life. It's the average people in life that see a little bit of success and then they think they freaking made it. You think you made it? You think you made it just because you're doing a little bit better than everybody else? Who cares what everybody else is doing? Who cares if you're in a little bit better shape than your neighbor? Who cares if you make a little bit more money than your friend? What matters is are you being better than who you were yesterday? Are you achieving your full potential? Because you can lie to yourself all you want, say, I'm doing a little bit better than this guy. I'm doing a little bit better than that girl over there. I'm doing a little bit better than this person. I'm doing a little bit better than my family. But every time you look in the mirror, you see comfort. You see distractions. You see softness. Listen, last time I checked, you felt the most alive when you were chasing that version of you. You see, you're not built for the view. You're not built to stand on top of the mountain and look down at everything you accomplish. You're built for the climb. You're built for the struggle. You're built to get stronger, to get more resilient, to gain more skills. That's what you're built for. You're built for the freaking journey. You're built for the war. You're built for the battle. You're not built to look at what you've done. You're built to freaking work. And that's why so many people that lose some weight, they end up gaining it back. That's why someone could win the lottery and then they end up going broke in 1 year from now. Why? Because they haven't become the person that can handle it. You see, when you set big goals, you need to become a different version of you. If you're setting small goals, you don't need to change who you are, do you? You should be setting goals that transform you. You should be setting goals so big that when you see people you haven't seen in 3 months from now, 6 months from now, 1 year from now, they don't even know who you are. You see, a lot of people are gonna have something to say. If people don't doubt your goals, they're not big enough. If people don't doubt where you're heading in life, they're not big enough. Because everybody likes to view you through how they view themselves. They're gonna laugh at you. Good, they should laugh at you. They're not gonna believe in you. Good, they shouldn't believe in you. Because people look at you how they look at themselves. And if they think that they can do it, well then they think that you could do it. But if they think that they can't do it, they're not gonna think that you can do it. So you better be setting goals that a lot of other people don't think that they can do. Why? Because if you set goals that everybody thinks they can do, well guess what? That means you're average. So the fact that you're setting goals that most people don't have the courage to get after, the fact that you're setting goals that most people don't think is even possible, that's called growth. That's called being above average. And this world relies on the people that are going against the norm. This world relies on the people that are setting big goals. That's what moves the needle forward. Because if everybody has always done what has always been done, things are just gonna stay the same. At one point, it was crazy to be in a metal vehicle going 60 miles an hour down the highway. At one point, it was crazy to just flip a switch and the lights turn on. At one point, it was crazy to get into this circle thing in the air and fly hundreds of miles an hour through the sky. At one point, it was crazy. And guess what? Now it's reality. So you better be setting goals that seem crazy today, because it may be crazy today. It won't be crazy for the version of you that you could be in a month from now. It won't be crazy for the version of you that you could be in a year from now. It won't be crazy for the best version of you. So start setting goals as if you are already the best version of you. Why? Because then you need to become that version of you if you truly want to achieve the goal. But if you keep setting small goals, goals that maybe you did in the past, goals that your friends have done, goals that just seem comfortable and chill for you so you don't need to give anything up, guess what? You can achieve those all you want, but they're not gonna change your life. You could lose the 5 pounds over and over again, and that's not gonna change your life. You can get in just enough great shape to feel comfortable in your clothes again, but that's not gonna freaking change your life. What's gonna change your life is by you becoming a new you. Because when you become a new you, you get a new life. That's everybody's problem. Everybody thinks that they want the world to change around them without changing themselves first. You see this world, you see through your own perspective, through your own 2 eyes. You don't see it through my eyes. You don't see it through their eyes. You don't see it through their eyes. You see it through your eyes. So if you want what you see to change, well, change what you see inside. Change your perspective. Change how you view things. Stop playing small. Because what winners do, when you have a winning mentality, when losing isn't an option, when you make winning the only option, you start to see opportunity in every failure. But if you think losing's an option, well then you're gonna see failure in every opportunity. You're gonna look for a way out. You're gonna look for a plan B. And that's the problem, is that there shouldn't be a plan B. Human beings are always looking for the most comfortable route. Don't give yourself a comfortable route. Only give yourself one option, and that's to freaking win. And the funny thing is both people are right. The losers that see failure in every opportunity, you're right, there is a failure there, and that's what they're gonna get. And the winners that see opportunity in every failure, they're right. Only one person gets success. Might as well view life through the scope of a winner, that there's opportunity. It's not an obstacle in front of you, it's an opportunity for you to become better, to overcome the obstacle. You're busy at work, get better with your time. You don't have the energy, manage your energy better. You don't think you can get in great shape? Well, start cutting out the distractions, start cutting out the vices, start cutting out the negative and toxic people in your life. You see, we all have one bookshelf in our life, and each book represents what we value. If you want to put something new on your full bookshelf, you got to take an old book out. You want to put the book of discipline on there? Well, you got to take Netflix off that shelf. You want to put the book of six-pack on there? Well, you got to take drinking out on the weekend off that shelf. You want to put a book of leading by example for your family? Well, you got to pull the book out of being distracted on social media. You only have so much room for the books on your bookshelf. What books are you putting on there? The books of laziness, the books of distraction, the books of comfort, or the books of your potential? The books of who you could become, the books of your greatness. Because there's a version of you that set big goals, had big standards, was grinding in the dark, was grinding in silence, and everybody doubted you, but you kept showing up. You kept showing up when nobody was watching. You kept putting in the work when everybody doubted you. You kept doing the things that other people weren't willing to do. And year after year went by, and one day they look at you and they ask you how you did it. The you that everybody else overlooked, now they're asking you how you did it. And you just say, because I never freaking quit. Imagine working for $9 an hour for 5 years, working in a deli, cutting deli meat for all the kids you went to high schools with, parents, and they're looking at you like, what the heck are you doing? It's one of the most humbling experiences ever, because while everybody else is going away to college, I was commuting to school. While everybody else was partying on the weekends, I was working 2 jobs. While everybody else was chilling, taking time off, I was going to the gym at 1 o'clock in the morning, because it didn't matter what other people thought about me. What mattered is I wasn't gonna quit. I wasn't gonna stop. I was gonna work in the darkness. I was gonna go to the gym at 1 o'clock in the morning. I was gonna learn how to edit videos and start my own business and invest in a mentorship. And for 5 years, I was working for $9 an hour to pay for my camera, to pay for my mentorship, to pay for my school books. And guess what? Now everybody looks at me and they're like, how the heck did you do it? It's just because I didn't quit. It's just because I had a vision for who I could become. When I was making $9 an hour, when I was out of shape and skinny fat, I went to the gym as if I already had a 6-pack. Investing in a mentorship, learning how to start my business as if I was already successful in business. You need to start setting goals and living as if you are already the ultimate version of you, because you get exactly what you demand in this world. You don't get what you want. You don't get what would be nice. You get what you demand, because if you don't hate it, you will eventually tolerate it. And every single hour that went by and I just made $9 an hour, I hated it. My soul left my body every single hour that went by, every time I had to clock in, and that made me work a little bit harder. Every single time I looked in the mirror and I hated the way I looked, I said, I'm gonna work a little bit harder. Every single time I knew I could become a little bit better, I worked a little bit harder. I started comparing who I was in that moment to who I could become. But your problem is you think you are comfortable. You think you've seen a little bit of success. You think that you're in just good enough shape. So why should you change anyway? Why would you work hard anyways? You already got everything you wanted. Oh, it would be nice to be in a little bit better shape. It'd be nice to be a little bit more successful. It'd be nice to do this and bring the family on vacation and be a little bit healthier. It'd be nice. But do you freaking hate where you are today? That is the separator. And you will not hate where you are today until you see where you could be tomorrow. So start getting a bigger vision for your life. Stop playing it safe. Stop playing it small and take the freaking risk, because without any risk, there's no reward. And in fact, the biggest risk in life is being comfortable. The biggest risk in life is setting a small goal and achieving it and thinking that you're freaking winning. That is the spot that you don't want to be. You never want to be in the middle. You never want to be in the middle. The people that work the hardest are at rock bottom or they're at the freaking top. But if you're in the middle where you're okay, you're average, why would you want to change? So you need to create the separator. You need to create the desperation in your life. You gotta want to make being successful as bad as you want to breathe. You gotta make it like air. You gotta make it like you're suffocating. You see, you don't even think about breathing, but the second you lose the air through your airway, that's all you could think about. You're not thinking about anything else. So you need to make success the only thing you think about. And you do that by creating a vision for who you could become. Not a vision of being a little bit better, but a vision for if you could achieve every goal you ever set, what would your life look like? And understand you can achieve that life, and you don't need to wait 10 years. Most people are saying, oh yeah, in 10 years from now I got a good plan. Guess what? You can achieve it in 10 freaking weeks. You don't need to wait 10 years. You don't need to wait 10 months. You gotta make winning your only freaking option, and you gotta expand your mind big enough to set the goals that aren't just gonna change what you look like, that aren't just gonna give you some results, but they're gonna change who you are. And that is why thinking big changes your life. That is why setting big goals changes your life, because you should not fear failing. You should fear achieving goals that aren't gonna actually even matter. Set the goals that are gonna change your life and your family's life and go after them. Because even if you come up a little bit short and you don't freaking hit the moon, at least you're gonna land among the stars. Even if you don't get the 6-pack, you're gonna lose more weight than the person that just said they're gonna lose 5 pounds. Even if you don't get success overnight or in the next month, you're gonna be a lot further than if you set small goals, because when you set big goals, you don't take the weekends off. When you set big goals, you don't keep the vices in your life. When you set big goals, you don't keep the distractions in your life. When you truly set big goals and you believe you can achieve it, you don't let anything get in your way. So don't fear failing. Fear achieving goals that don't matter in the first place. Expand your mind, think bigger, and set bigger goals. Because in order to achieve those goals, you need to have bigger standards. Let's get to work.